Miss Danny, I had an accident. Please, tranquilise me. I'm out in the northwest by the creek.
Okay.
It's nice to see you again, Stephen. I know you're doing a bit of cross-dressing at the moment.
I am indeed.
Which I
But
we won't talk
stupidly
about
called
crime.
Charlie's
No.
Angel. But
Did you not have an air gun as a lad?
I didn't know.
Shocking.
It happens
Gun
to every
performance.
vet that now and again.
Does it?
Yes, well...
Shoot themselves with a tranquiliser
We didn't know how to get the dart from the gun into me in the quickest possible time, so we just worked out I'd shoot myself in the leg.
And it's true, isn't it, that out there, vets do carry the antidotes, don't they, just in case that happens?
Yes.
Because it has been known.
Absolutely. Yeah, and, you know, because of the tranquiliser that they're using are designed to knock out...
Elephants.
Huge elephants, yeah, they need a lot of the antidote to...
How do they control... I mean, for example, that lion was heading straight for a giraffe. I mean, that must be quite dangerous, mustn't it?
It is, yeah, a lot of it is. It's a small farm by sort of South African standards, and it's a sanctuary for most of the animals, so a lot of them have been hand-reared, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, really. If they lose their fear of humans...
Yeah.
And they get a bit brassed off with filming that day, it's you that's in the way.
They're straight into the trailer, aren't they?
Well, exactly.
You'll find me in my Winnebago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really moved on, isn't it, from, like, you know, James Herriot shoving his fist up the back of a backside of a cow.
Right.
I mean, this is...
I don't think you'd try that with a lion.
I really wouldn't try that with a lion under any unless it was deeply tranquilised, and even then I'd be bothered. But you've actually, because it's the second series, it's a lovely story. You went back to do the second series, and the elephants from the first series remembered you.
They do, yes.
They
there's
do
two.
people.
There's a female called Three and her big brother called Bully. And it is true, the old wives' tale of elephants never forget. Well, I was over one side of the water hole and they were on the other side, and I called them like a pair of dogs, and they jumped in and swam over and just lifted their heads up for me to stroke.
And how long had it been since you'd last seen them?
Between series, I think the first and the second, it was about 8 months.
Fantastic.
But it was like yesterday.
When you do go out there, you spend quite a lot of time, don't you? It's not, you don't go there for a fortnight.
5.5 to 6 months. No, it's lovely.
So you are practically living there.
Absolutely, yes. We're 10 minutes away from the set, and I spend every spare minute there as well. It's just such a treat to see them in the environment that they should be in and roaming free.
I think you are turning slightly into a vet. Christopher Timothy said that towards the end of the series that he was making back in the 70s and 80s... All Creatures, Great and Small, he increasingly did feel an affinity with the animals, just as vets do.
Yeah,
look at the sequence here. This is you and a giraffe. And it's part of the series, but you're chatting to it, you're stroking it, and you end up feeding it a carrot from your own mouth. Was that spontaneous?
It was, really. Hamley is his name. And he was in such a sort of good mood that I just thought we'd try it and see if we'd get it. I've done that before with horses, and I thought, well, they're kind of they're related somewhere along the line.
But you have to be careful. Like with a horse, you always feed them with an open palm, don't
absolutely.
you? But you had your lips were going in there.
I know. I got a bit carried away.
Giraffe kisser.
But
yes,
exactly.
It's a great, it's doing incredibly well. You're getting really good ratings, aren't you?
Hugely successful.
I mean, of course, it's everybody's dream, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And we're a nation of animal lovers, and it's cold Sunday nights here, and you get these picture postcards of the...
Which country are you actually in down there?
In South Africa.
South Africa.
Nearest, yeah, we're about an hour and a half from Johannesburg.
What, north or south?
North.
North, right. So it's still pretty hot then, even in the winter.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, here's a clip. I mean, not all the animals are popular. Here's where you get extremely fed up with a chimpanzee. It's very self-explanatory.
We pulled you from that plane, took you in and cared for you, yet you go behind our backs to smuggle that chimp into our compound, and you use our children to do it.
Come on, Danny, it's not such a big deal, is it? I thought you'd be delighted to have a little chimp like Archie on your reserve.
Archie? Did you know about him too?
Yes, well, what's the problem?
Chimps aren't indigenous to South Africa. We don't know anything about the animal, where he's been, what he might be carrying.
Danny, you'd better come. You wait here.
I came in to take a blood sample, and this is how I found her.
She's been dead for hours. What caused this?
I've got a good idea. What are the classic carriers of viruses? Primates.
Was the